Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube, NES Ruler? Welcome to a brand new review. This time we'll be checking out a film that was sent to me to review by Severin Films, and you can pick this up on Blu-ray, only Blu-ray, on March 29th. And this is a film that had a DVD release like 10 years ago from Severin, and it's not out of print or anything like that, so if you guys aren't into Blu-rays, you can pick it up that way. But this Blu-ray has some new features on it and things like that, I'm pretty sure, from what I've read. From that release to this release, I've seen some different kind of things. So it is a film from 1978, and it's an Ozploitation film titled Felicity. Now, if you guys know me just from here on the channel and on the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast and Facebook page, I'm not somebody that's really into sleaze cinema. It's not really something that I've found deep interest in. It's not something really that I've explored in my cinematic history, if you want to say that. But, some of my really, really good friends from the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror Facebook page, and even Moods himself, is really into sleaze cinema. So I figured I would try, and once again, just like the Kung Fu review that I did for Severin, expand my range of cinema a little bit. Even though I'm not really that interested in this subgenre, I'm still really not that interested, but it's more than your typical softcore porno, if that makes sense, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I've really never really dug into the whole Ozploitation before, like I said, but after watching Not Quite Hollywood, which is a really, really fantastic documentary about Ozploitation cinema. It's really, I had some more interest of late to check out some more Ozploitation films, even if it's part of the sleaze subgenre of Ozploitation. So this film basically follows our main character, Felicity. Felicity lives in an all-girl Christian boarding school, and she hasn't experienced any sexual experiences yet in her life, and she starts out as a very sexually frustrated character. I have to say, she's really, really interested in sex, but she hasn't been able to perform any of these sexual fantasies that she's had because of the fact that she's in this Christian boarding school, and the whole Christian thoughts on sexual activities before you are married, especially, since it's all girls, lesbian sexual acts. But Felicity still has these thoughts towards these other girls in this boarding school. So one day she gets a invitation from her father to go to Hong Kong on her holiday vacation. So she goes to Hong Kong, and that's where the film really picks up on its sexual sub-themes. And I have to give the film credit. It definitely says some interesting things about Felicity's mindset and her sexual experience, and how she starts as a very sexually frustrated character, and then as the film goes on, she transforms as a person because she's now able to perform in these sexual activities. And I know I'm trying to probably dig into the film a little bit more than what the director, John D. Lamon, is trying to say, but I really, really think there's some interesting subtext in there about sexual rejuvenation and what one's psyche is able to change over time if they're able to perform in sexual tasks if they were sexually frustrated in the past, like Felicity. So the film basically just goes on sexual tear, if you want to say that. Lots of nudity, lots of interesting things going on, lots of lesbian stuff going on that you typically see, or I've typically heard about in a lot of these Ozploitation films, and just a whole bunch of stuff that that I haven't really watched before. It's an interesting idea, I have to say. Even though it's not something that I'm really interested in, I can see what people like about it, but is it something that I'm going to dig into even more? Probably not, because I don't really find it that interesting, Sex is cool, but to watch a story for 95 minutes basically a softcore porno for 95 minutes. It really didn't really help my interest that much, even though it had some interesting themes going on. I just really wasn't that interested in it, and I don't see myself seeking out more Ozploitation, sexual, or evolution type of films. But I was happy at least I checked this one out. This seems to be one of the more well-known and well-respected sexual Ozploitation films, so that's good. Let's talk about the release. The release is pretty okay. The transfer is what it is. It's not mind-blowing. It's not even that great, but it's good. It's enough for a Blu-ray transfer. It looks good. Probably just an upscale DVD, to be completely honest, still a lot of grain. But during the scenes where there's the neon signs from Hong Kong, look really nice in high def, look really, really good, I have to say that. Sound, sleazy soundtrack. And then the special features, there's some really great special features on here. They have 2 other full-length John D. Lamman films on this release. We have the ABCs of Love and Sex, which is a really interesting. I watched the special features too, so I've had my fair share of softcore sleaze. So ABCs of Love and Sex is it's like the ABCs of Death, but with sexual terms, masturbation, all this kind of stuff. Lots of muff and sleaze once again throughout this entire film. It's from 1978, so it's right around the same time as this film. So, interesting idea, I have to say. It really didn't help my interest again, but it's an interesting idea, I suppose. And if you're into that kind of stuff, then I bet you it's just another check mark of why you should pick up this release. And then we have Australia After Dark from 3 years earlier, and it's another documentary about the late night erotic stuff that happens in Australia in the mid-1970s. More interesting than the ABCs of Love and Sex, I have to say. At least it showed some part of Australia that I've never seen before, and most of us never seen before. So I have to give it credit that this one's definitely the better one out of the 2 full-length feature films on the special features. But really, Felicity is the best thing about this release. And then there is an auto commentary with the producer and the director and the star on here for Felicity. And then there's some outtakes from Not Quite Hollywood, which is interesting. They're just talking about this film and then John D. Lamman's career and things like that. That's not on that set, I'm pretty sure. I haven't watched that in like 6 to 7 months, so I can't remember if that's on there or not, but you got that, and then you got some trailers from John D. Lamman's film. So overall, a really, really solid package of special features to go with the main feature right here, which of course is Felicity. So overall, it's interesting. I have to give the film credit that it had some kind of subtext in there. It wasn't just sex, sex, sex. It had some interesting things to say about one's sexual self and finding one's sexual self. So that's good. And really, really great for special features. So if you're into that kind of stuff, then I think you're probably going to like this one. But it's not really totally for me. So it was interesting. I appreciate Severin sending it to me to watch it. So that is everything, guys. If you guys like this review, please give it a thumbs up. I'm sorry, again, it's probably not my most quality review because I'm not that knowledgeable in sleaze and Ozploitation in general, but I tried my best. So if you guys like this review, once again, give it a thumbs up. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRuler22, and I hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys.